My name is Jimmy Howard Peterson. My rank was Engineman Second Class, Submarine Qualified. We went back to San Diego, and then we were then later dispatched to WestPac, Western Pacific Cruise, which usually lasts 6 to 7 months. Typically, the cruise goes, the one that goes like, we leave San Diego, we go to Hawaii, we spend some time in Hawaii, and then we go on to Japan. One of the things what was kind of interesting when we were in Hawaii, they were filming the movie Tora, 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 which depicts the attack of the Japanese in World War II, and they started the war. And the style of submarine we had a fantail, the back of the ship, that had the same type of screw guards that the old boats had. So they wanted to film a strafing run with the Japanese Zeros, which you'd see flying over all the time during the filming, and they set up the charges that made it look like machine gun fire, and they come in and they flew in and they simulated strafe. So that was pretty exciting. And Hawaii was pretty interesting. Having never been there before. I don't think I'd want to live in Hawaii, but it was a great place to visit. And then back on to Japan. It took us about 2 weeks to get to Hawaii from San Diego. We cruised at about 15 knots as a cruising speed, and then it took us about a week to get to Japan. And we spent time in Japan, and it was fun. It was interesting to go out and fun to see the culture and the people and the food and new experiences. And of course, most of the military people love to party, and there was always a lot of drinking going on, particularly for the younger people. And then we progressed south. Korea was our next stop. We spent time in Korea. I remember it being exceptionally cold in Korea, and they had martial law at that time, so if you were out in the evening, and you were stuck where you were at. And then we continued south to Taiwan. We spent some time in Taiwan. And all these places had something different to offer and some different things. And of course, the young people are there's always the bars and always the alcohol, and there's always the girls that are after your money. And I can remember this one bar gal, I talked to, and I was trying to explain the concept of open spaces like in Nevada in the desert. And I tried to tell her about this. There's no people out there. There's nothing. It's wide open. And no, this is not possible. Not possible, not possible. So I was like, it's always an interesting education. We continued on our WestPac south, Philippines. And from the Philippines, we continued on to Tonkin Gulf. Our main job at that particular trip to Tonkin Gulf was we were involved with war games with the surface ships, Australian, and I think we had New Zealand sub there also. That particular one was cut short, if I remember correctly. I could be mixing it up with another boat, but it happened. Maneuvers at night, no lights. All the surface people are supposed to make their turns at the same time. One destroyer didn't make his turn at the right time, and I think it was an Australian aircraft carrier that cut off the front of the boat, the forecastle, and they lost 50 people. And so that's a definite tragedy. And of course the exercise was canceled. We went back to the Philippines, Subic Bay. I saw the ship didn't sink in there, and it was like they took a knife and just cut the front of the boat off. So that was a tragedy that, glad it wasn't there. Anyway, so we continued back to the Tonkin Gulf, as I recall, and spent our time there, and we returned basically at the same route that we went down in, coming back, stopping at these different places, and it was, again, same old game. The one thing that was kind of interesting, every country had something different to offer for things if you wanted to buy something, specialty things, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course in Japan everything was, like the yen was 360 to 1, so you could, in exchange, you could buy a complete set of china for $50, have it shipped to the States. I even bought a motorcycle over there and shipped it to the States. They put everything in big sea vans and waited until some surface ship was going back, and they brought all your stuff back. So